do different shapes because kids often respond to different textures.
Empowering teachers and staff. That's the goal of the Behavior Strategies Lab at Fort Belvoir Elementary. This innovative resource is a place where teachers can learn a variety of behavior strategies that support students and allows them to be more available for learning.
When I arrived here as principal, we had a clinical team that was in place with experts to help support teachers on any challenges that they might be navigating in the classroom with their students to increase student availability for learning. And over the years, we figured out, oh my goodness, like we're having these great, rich conversations, and then our teachers have to leave and find some extra time in their schedule that really doesn't exist to create the tools to implement in the classroom. So the goal of the lab is really twofold. We ultimately want to increase student availability to learn so that they can feel as successful as possible. And secondly, we want to equip our teachers with the tools necessary to help enhance everybody's availability to learn. So that's the purpose behind our lab.
The lab is housed in a learning cottage that was set up to provide training and materials for teachers to address challenging situations in the classroom. A behavior intervention team first models the strategies, then allows teachers time to make the tools needed for use in their classroom. The approaches being used have proven effective in managing behavior and can have positive outcomes for students. The primary focus this year has been on token boards, breathing strategies, and sensory items.
We want to make sure that each teacher who works with students has the knowledge to be able to help students when they're having challenging behaviors. It's a 30-minute workshop where they are able to ask questions, use our QR codes, and then they take the time to make the actual tool for the student. So it provides them with knowledge and then hands-on activities.
I have students with a lot of anxiety this year, and so those breathing strategies have been great and just kind of like calming and bringing us down back to that kind of calm state of mind. So I think knowing my students really kind of helps me pinpoint what they could use.
We all learn differently, and some of us need things to help us focus a little bit more. Some of us need to know how to breathe when we get overwhelmed, and some of us need reinforcement in order to get the task done.
Assuring teachers have the tools to navigate challenging behaviors allows students to remain available for learning and reduces lost instructional time.
All teachers want every student to get the most out of the teaching and learning environment. And when teachers have to rely on calling a counselor or calling an administrator or students being removed from the classroom, it causes a disruption to the flow of their day and what their purpose is in helping students achieve. So by empowering our teachers with the tools to utilize in their classroom, the hope is that over time they'll need to rely less on outside supports and there'll be less interruption to what they're trying to accomplish each and every day for our students.
Throughout the year, I thought that I would always be like directing them to go take 5 or directing them to use those breathing strategies. So now my students are actually choosing to use those strategies when they notice themselves starting to get either overstimulated or if they're upset or angry or they have a lot of anxiety.
When I'm in the take 5 area, I get ready for so I can calm down. I felt good after it and I was calmed down and then I didn't get angry. And when I'm done, I'm really ready for work.
The strategies in here also empower myself just because I don't always have to be, calling the office, hey, I have this student, he just needs a break, or hey, I have this student, he's so angry and wound up and I'm not sure what to do. So it really has given me other opportunities to teach the students these life skills and different strategies of coping. And it really helps my lessons, like I said before, kind of flow a little bit smoother because now I kind of have an idea of, oh, well, if I see so-and-so's off, let's try this before I go further. So it really does help me and give me different ideas of what I can do in the classroom before things escalate even more. I find that all these different strategies have kind of cut my behaviors in half, so that's been great.
Fort Belvoir believes that the Behavior Strategies Lab has brought about a cultural change in its population and has encouraged students to be lifelong problem solvers as well as goal-directed and resilient individuals.
I've seen a huge improvement in my students. I now encourage them to be problem solvers. And like I said, I now see them using these tools by themselves and independently, and it empowers them. So not only does it kind of cut down on the behaviors, but now I have solutions to these normal classroom behaviors of fidgeting on the carpet and shouting out and, when we get angry. So it really has empowered my students, and I've seen a huge change, and I mean from the beginning of the year to now.
I think one of the biggest things that has been a realization is just having a deeper understanding of the why behind the what. Why might some of these behaviors be manifesting themselves? It is not because students come to school to be disrespectful. It is not because students come to school to disrupt the classroom environment for their own learning or for the learning of others. But we do have some students that are challenged to regulate their emotions. And so we have to teach the skill sets that are missing for some of our students. And once we give them those skill sets that they need, my goodness, what an amazing environment we'll have for all learners.